So, Florida Luxury Associates, we are going to be covering Google Drive storage to help you be more paperless. We're also going to cover creating documents in Google Drive, creating spreadsheets in Google Drive, how you can upload things to Google Drive, Google Photos. It's going to be one googly afternoon. So, we're going to get started right off the bat. If you look at the screen here, currently I have Google Drive open on the web. I am using Chrome as the browser. If you use Chrome, it should pretty much look like this when you first come into it. So if you aren't already using Google Drive, if you have a Gmail address, you have Google Drive. Okay. Um, the easiest way to get to it, I feel, is to set your browser, make Google your home page. Okay. If you just go into the settings in your browser and reset your home page to google.com, every time you open the browser, you're going to come to the Google home screen. Very convenient. You can do Google searches right here. It also leaves your mail, images and whatnot docked here. If you come to these 9 gray squares and click on that, the drop-down menu here gives you your Google apps. So if you're an Android user, it's kind of like opening that little Google app on your phone that has all the Google stuff in it. And you can come to Google Drive on the web right here. All you have to do is click that. Okay. It'll also have your Google Keep, your Google Plus, your Gmail, your Google Calendar. This one has Blogger present because we do blog from this account, and your contacts. Also your Hangouts if you use Hangouts. So that's one great way to get to it on the web. Okay. If you need to download Google Drive, you're going to go to drive.google.com. If you don't already have it installed on your computer, there'll be an option on the website to download it to a local folder on your computer. Okay. Then it's going to be accessible through your Finder on a Mac or through your Windows. I don't even know if they still call it Windows Explorer, where your files are and it shows your downloads, your desktop, that kind of a thing. It'll give you the local folder for dragging and dropping into your drive. So it'll sync perfectly. One of the great things about Google Drive Cloud Storage is the ability to use it on your phone and your tablet. Whether you're an iPhone, Android, or I believe even Windows phone. If you have a Windows phone, wow, you're a braver person than I am. But you can have Google Drive right on your mobile devices as well. So it makes perfect sense to put your real estate files in there. They start you with 15 gigs of free storage, as you can see right here. Okay, this drive is using 2 megabytes of storage. The Gmail account is using 37 megabytes of storage, and Google Photos is using 0 bytes. The Google Photos for this account excuse me, that was a big cough. The Google Photos for this account is the free version. If you back up to Google Photos, you can opt to have the full-size image stored where it actually comes away from your storage, your overall storage space. My Google Drive does that for my Google Photos. This account, we just have it set to store the free version. It's a smaller image size, I believe. So this one's using 41 megabytes of 15 gigs. Okay, there isn't much in here, but there is a lot. 15 gigs of storage is a lot of storage. Just keep in mind that your Gmail does come away from that. So you will want to periodically go through there and delete your spam, delete your promotion tabs, delete your social tabs, get rid of things that you don't need. And that'll help free up some of your cloud storage. Once you reach close to 15 gigs, you'll want to upgrade your storage. In order to do that, you click on Upgrade Storage. It'll give you, again, another breakdown. Okay. Right here, you see for 100 gigabytes of storage, you can pay $20 a year or $1.99 a month. And for 1 terabyte of storage, it's $100 a year or $99 a month. A terabyte is massive, massive. Most people will go from the current 15 gig free plan to $20 a year for 100 gigs of storage. Okay, 100 gigs is a lot of storage. But I'm going to show you how to use Google Drive so you actually use more of your Google storage and have less on your computer. Because when it comes time to replace your computer, if you've got stuff in your document folder or your download folder and they're not in the cloud, you purchase your next computer and you may lose what's on the old one if you wait until it crashes. Been there, done that, never doing it again. So if you start using your clouds, it doesn't matter what device you're on, all your stuff is with you. So when you come into your Google Drive, the first section on the left here, or the first tab, is My Drive. These are all the folders in this particular drive. The next tab down in gray is Shared with Me. Google allows you to share folders with other users. Okay, this is why I like Google Drive for my real estate files. Let's say you go on vacation and someone's going to watch your business and you've got all your files in your Google Drive. You can create a folder, move your listings or your buyer, your pending files into a folder, and then share that folder with the other person. When you come back from vacation, you can just unshare it with them and it just stays in your drive. This account, if we look at what's shared, we have shared folders in here. Obviously, Florida Luxury Training, seminars, the current 2017 training, which a lot of new cool stuff in there. And then photos. I know Charisse knows this. I don't believe Dan joined us because he is teaching an RPR class at the moment in Spring Hill. But when we teach classes, we like to take photos of the classes or our mixers. And when I request that from the agents or the managers, this is where they go. I don't own them. I don't want them. So I put them into the education drive. Okay. So when you have a shared folder, this is where they show. So going back to our drive, we need to make some folders, right? We need to get our properties, our real estate stuff in our Google Drive. So if you go to New, the big blue button on the left, you can create a new folder. So let's say we just listed 123 Main Street. We create a folder for 123 Main Street. There it is. Okay. Obviously, if we open the folder, there's nothing in it yet, but we can add some stuff to it. One of the cool things I like about Google Drive, which only works on the web version, is when you right-click, you can change the color. So you can make all of your listings red. You can make all of your pending files blue or vice versa, or whatever you want to do. And I may open up my own drive so you can see how I use the colors to make things easy when this screen is filled with folders. Okay. Now let's say from the web version, we want to upload a file. We go to New, File Upload. We're going to select a file. Now I'm selecting Google Drive. This is actually my Google Drive. This is not the Florida Luxury one. So we're going to upload this contract. Okay, you can see there it is. We got notification down here. We can take this contract and just drag it into that folder. Super easy. Okay. When you open the folder, there it is. You can also change the file view to a list format. I prefer this often. I like the list. This is why I like the colors, so I know what I'm looking at, because it'll generally alphabetize. Excuse me, the list. What it will do is anytime you put a property address or a number, those are going to come to the top. So 123 Main Street or 2896 First Avenue, they're going to start to stack together as a group on your screen to make things a little bit easier. Once you download Google Drive, it'll show up in your local folder. Okay, this is the local folder from my Mac. Okay, this is Finder. Now on a Windows computer, you've got the same general setup. It's got your downloads, it'll have your desktop and your documents and whatnot, and it'll put Google Drive right here. So let's say we scan which I forgot to do. My bad. Well, we don't have to worry about that. But let's say we scan a contract into our computer and we want to move it to our Google Drive. Without opening the web on your local folder, okay, you can go to where the file is stored in your drive. Okay, so we're going to say let's say it's, we'll open up receipts. Okay, we're just going to use a receipt PDF. So let's say this is where my scan is, okay, and I want to move that document into my Google Drive. I simply click it, drag it, and drop it. Okay, on your Mac, if you've got it in iCloud Drive, it will give you this message that you're moving it out of iCloud Drive into another spot. No big deal. Now, if I go to my Google Drive, there's the PDF that we moved. When I come to the web and I go to my drive, we're going to refresh. Oh, you know what? I moved. It's in a different drive. That's why. So sorry. I guess I have to open my drive. Make life easy. There's the PDF that we moved into the drive in the local folder. Okay. While I have mine open, I'm going to show you. You can see the colors of the properties. So red are all listing properties. Okay. Now this one is not grouped with the others. Why? Because it doesn't have a number. This one, I was lazy and did not make the color red, so I'm going to make it red. Okay. Anything to do with my marketing is folded in purple. All my Florida luxury stuff is green. Okay. Random things or personal things like our window tint business stuff, random images from the web. I do a lot of blogging and I make a lot of graphics for advertising. So I steal images all the time. Don't tell Google. But I do steal images from the web and I throw them into this random images folder. I don't want stuff on my computer. Okay. So you can easily color code everything. Just keep in mind that the colors will not show up in the local folder on the drive. And again, you have the option to change the layout. Okay. So if you're a Dropbox user, this may look more like your Dropbox than the folder option. Okay. And the folder option may look different on a Windows computer than it does on the Mac. Now, with the local folder open, I'm just going to close these so we can pay attention to this. You can drag and drop in the local folder. Okay. And when you come to your web version, see how one's missing? Because it moved. So it syncs perfectly. It'll also sync on your phone and your tablet. Okay. On the mobile devices, when you open the app for Google Drive, you may need to give it a little bit of time because unless the app is open and in use, it's not going to update while your computer updates like what we're seeing on the screen here. So you might have to open it and wait a second. You'll actually see the folders move around. It's kind of cool. We're going to go back to the other account. So this is, again, Google Drive on the web. This is Google Drive as a local folder. Now, if you are a Mac user and you use some of your folders in your drive quite often, like my my temp folder. I dump things in temp all the time. That's my dump folder. It's my temporary folder. It's just where I shove things that really have no other place to go. I use my marketing a lot, my listing ads a lot. I create graphics a lot. Um, and then my pages folder, which actually should be docked down here. Move that to here. So if on a Mac, if you want to put this in Finder, let's say I want to take my summer tree folder and make it more easily accessible, I can just drag it and drop it in here. And then when I'm using my other files, documents, desktop, downloads, if I want to move something into that folder, I can just drag it and drop it from here, and it will be in that folder. Okay, this is the image folder for that file. So most of the time, you're going to be using your local folder more than the web, just for the convenience of it. Most people are not going to want to log into the drive and then hit new and then, upload a file. It's kind of time consuming. So most people, you're going to open up your local Finder or Windows Explorer. I believe it's still called that. One of your folder, like documents, usually will have your scans in it. Mine has screen recordings in it. But usually your scans will be in there, or wherever they are in your computer. And then you can just drag it and drop it right into the drive. Okay? So it makes it very convenient. Sharing folders in your Google Drive is very easy. Okay? We use, in my household, we have an Android user and an iPhone user. So in my Google Drive, I have a shared folder. And when the Android person takes a picture and I say, ooh, I want that picture, they just move it to that folder in the drive. And then I have it in my drive. And then we both have the photo. So if you work with someone else in real estate, like on a team, or someone's watching your business while you're on vacation, you can create a shared folder, move things into it. They can put things into it, and everyone's going to have the information. It works really, really well. And again, it's storage size, and it's the user friendliness of it. If your files are in Drive and they're large, and you use Gmail on the web, you can attach directly from Drive, which allows you to share larger folders than the normal 25 megabyte limit attachment that Google has. Any questions on the folders? Pretty straightforward. Now, if you'd like to move from Dropbox, SugarSync, or your computer, let's say your real estate files are in your documents on your computer, stored in your hard drive, you can upload an entire file. There's a file uploader. You can select the entire file and then upload it. So you don't have to go into the folder and open up each individual thing. You can also go into your document folder and drag the file right into Google Drive if you'd like to, which I think I just did. Booger. Where'd that go? Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't. So you have two ways to do it. Most people are going to use this, which is the local folder on the computer. Google Photos is an awesome little feature that's attached to your Google account. Google Photos allows you to back up all the pictures from your phone, whether you have an iPhone or an Android. Okay? If you don't opt for the HDR version, When you set up your Google Photos, there's two ways to store. One of them is free and unlimited. The other one is free, but it's going to come off of your overall drive storage. So unless you're paying the $20 a year for 100 gigs of storage, I would go with the free version that's unlimited. So what's great about Google Photos is anytime you upload a photo from your computer, you can put it in your Google Photos. Anytime you take a photo with your camera, your phone, it'll go into your Google Photos. Okay. Now, this account, just to clarify, is not tied to my phone. So none of these photos are from my phone. They've all been uploaded. Okay. So we're in Google Photos. I have to work backwards and remember how to do it. We want to upload a file. And we're going to upload a graphic because I know they're JPEGs. We upload that and we click open. Here we go. So the photo is in our Google Drive. Well, we'd like it in Google Photos. Oh, sorry, I'm backwards on the web here. Oh, because I don't have the oh, that's not my account. That's why I'm having trouble with it. When you set it up for your account, you'll be able to upload automatically. When you upload a photo to Google Plus, it'll also come into your Google Photos. Okay. There is a photo uploader that you can install. This is where I wanted to be. Sorry. Right here, you can click upload and upload the photos manually. Okay. If you have the file uploader downloaded on your computer, when you put your memory card in from your digital camera, you can upload right to Google Photos. From your home screen, if you click on the gray boxes and you go to Photos, there it is. That's where I was trying to get to. Again, I don't normally use it on the web, so you have to bear with me there a little bit. So you have a couple of options here on the left with Google Photos. One of them is an assistant. You can create a new album. So let's say I just listed a house, okay, and it is, I've uploaded the photos, so I want to include this one, and this one, and this one, and I want to create an album, and I want to title it 123 Main Street. We click our checkbox, we go back, and now you see an albums category, and the album is titled 123 Main Street. So you can have all your listing photos for that property in this album. That is super handy because if you're on your phone and you're talking to someone at, a restaurant or something, and you say, striking up a conversation about real estate, which is what we do. You should always have 10 conversations a day about real estate. And you say, you know what, I just listed this awesome house over in such and such area. You're like, really? Oh, that's great. Like, what does it look like? You can hit Google Photos on your phone, go right to the album, pull up all the listing photos right there, and you can show them to people. Very handy little tool. And it's all in the cloud and not on your computer. Now, if we go back to the photos, I'm going to use this one, and we double click it. Okay. Here you can share it. Excuse me. You can share it to Google Plus, Facebook, Twitter. You can share a link to it. You can add it to a shared album, or you can create a new shared album, or you can share it directly to someone in your contacts list. Okay. You can also edit the photo for free. So here's the original photo, which actually was edited in iPhotos before it got here, but we're going to play with it. So you've got your photo. Now these options here are your filters. So, you know, if you've used Instagram, you know that you click on different filters and it makes it look different, you know, all that good stuff. We want to stick with the original. Up here at the top in the middle is your option for editing the photo. This will do your color, your lightness, and the pop, which is like the HDR kind of a thing. Okay, so we're going to go through each one. Here's the light. We're going to make it brighter. You're going to make it brighter. We don't want it too bright. We're going to change the color. Let's make it deeper, more color. Now, when doing listing photos, you know, photos of a house, be careful when you move the light and the color. We always want the light. We want it bright. We want it, you know, as bright as possible. We don't want dark photos on the internet. But when you adjust the color, be careful that you're not making the walls a different color than they really are. So if you look at the back wall, and I change the color, you see how it's getting more yellow. We all know the Trinity training room is not yellow. So you want to make sure that you're not boosting it to the point where you're altering the actual appearance of the room, but you're just giving it a little more, you know, zazoo or something. I don't know. I don't know where that word came from, but I said it. It's done. The next option is pop. And again, I'm going to go all the way to the end so you can see how crazy it gets. But here's the pop. And you notice it's pretty much the sharpness of the photo and how much the photo pops when you alter it. So you can change the pop of the photo. The other option up here at the top is your crop and your straightening. Okay? So we can whoop, 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 straighten that photo out. Now you get grid lines when you do it. So we want the corner of the room. See, it was shot at a weird angle. But you want everything as straight as possible. Okay, so when you do a kitchen photo, okay, you're going to want your grid lines to align with the base of the cabinets, the height of the countertop, things like that. When you do a room, like a bedroom, you'll want the corner and the ceiling to align with your grid as well as possible. That only works with a straight-on photo. This photo, obviously, I was standing in the front left corner of the training room, facing the room, so it's a little off. Okay, and it again was taken with a camera phone. It was my iPhone, not a digital camera. Now, let's say, you know, this is a great picture here, but you know what? There's a doorway that's weird or something. Well, actually, we're going to use Lorianne. So Lorianne didn't make the full cut on this picture when I took it. I know that's Lorianne because I was there. So we want to just get rid of that portion of the photo so we can crop that out. Okay. So if you've got a door frame or something that you know, let's say you take a picture of a room and you're standing in the door and the door frame is in the photo, you can crop that out and alter it. Okay. Let's say I don't want Jeremy or whoever this is. I don't remember. I think it's Rocky in the photo. I can just crop them out as well. Okay. We can bring it right over to Rick. And it'll adjust the photo, and then you click done. And there's your new photo. So you can easily edit photos for free using the Google Photos editor. And we're done. It'll save it. And then you click your back arrow, and there's the new edited photo. Okay. So I'm trying to, let me do one that's not. I want a house picture, but I don't want to open my photos. I apologize for not having this in advance. So we're going to do, I'll use this. Okay, so here you see when you upload the photo, high quality is free unlimited storage, or use the original quality, which will come away from your storage quota. I can actually, if it was in iPhotos, I can actually just delete her. You can just rub her right out and it'll get rid of it. I'm answering, Lorianne wanted me to get rid of her back in the photo. So the original will come away from your storage. So if you have 15 gigs of storage in your account and you click original over and over and over and over again, it's going to come away from that. High quality gives you good quality. It's a reduced file size, and that is free unlimited storage. Okay, so that's awesome. iPhone people, if you do not want to pay Apple the $1 a month for the 50 gigs of iCloud, you might want to have Google Photos on your iPhone and back up all your pictures to that in the regular high quality free unlimited storage. Okay, you can access it on any computer, you can access it on your phone, you can access them on your tablet. It's really great. The only downside is some of the apps will want to open iPhotos for the automatic sharing. So you just have to do a workaround, open the app, and then like upload it. Okay, so we're going to save it as high quality for free. And we're going to continue. It's going to upload that photo. Super awesome. There it is. Right here, once you upload it, we can add it to an album. Let's put it in 123 Main Street. So now it's added to an album. So if I go to the albums, here's the album for 123 Main Street, and there's the photo. Now, this photo is small. You know, it's a D.R. Horton artist rendition of a property. So editing is going to be a little weird, but because I have a Mac, I'm just going to blow that up. So I have to get back to the edit. Oh boy. All right, so we're going to hit edit. Here we go. So again, you've got your filters, things like that. Okay. When we go to our crop, because this is a house, we can adjust the lines so that our gutters and doorways are straight. Okay, we want to make sure the house is as straight as possible in that photo. It may not always line up with the grid, but you want to make sure that your house is straight. If the house looks crooked and it's in Florida, what does it look like? Yeah, sinkhole. Okay. And again, you can change the light and boost the color and all that great stuff. So Google Photos is part of your Google Drive. It's pretty awesome. And you can use it. You can use Google Photos where it's not coming away from your Google Drive storage, which is pretty awesome. You can also create collages and animations and movies. There's so much you can do with it. So I suggest you get on board and start playing with this. If for nothing else, you're listing photos. Okay, we kind of want our listing photos to be done better. Okay. So if we go back to our drive, so this is all fine and good, but how does this work in real life? Okay. So for that, I'm going to have to open up something that's associated with my Google Drive so you can see it. So let's go to our back office. There's a mixer tomorrow night. Oh no, in March. Oh, never mind. We'll go to a form. Let's download a form. We're going to use an as-is contract. Okay, so here's the as-is contract. We fill it out, super duper. And we want to save it so we can upload it to or send it to the seller or upload it to electronic signature or what have you. So on the Mac, we're going to just save it as a PDF. Now, label it test so I know. When using your PDF creator, whether it's Foxit or you're using a Mac, on the Mac you have a drop-down menu right here where I can just move it right into my temp folder in my Google Drive. And it does it. So here it is in the local folder, right here. And if I open up Drive on the web, and I open my temp folder, there it is. Okay. That's why I use a temp folder. Okay. Let's say, like, here's a, let's do a tax roll, for instance. Someone's talking to you, possible listing, you get a PDF copy of the tax roll. Okay. I save it in my temp folder in my drive. It's not on my hard drive. It's not somewhere that's going to be lost if the computer crashes or whatnot. And I can easily access it on my phone, on my tablet, on the computers at the office, on my own computer, wherever, because it's in my temp folder. So by using a temp folder in your drive or a dump folder, whatever you want to call it, you'll be able to just take things from the internet, permitting, the deed, if there's power of attorney, or anything you do for research, and just throw it in that folder and save it. So if you save it and it goes into your documents, like if you're using Foxit Reader, let's say you just save it and you put it to your desktop. I know there's people out there that do that. So let's say you just save it to your desktop. So you can go to your desktop. The file would be there. Mine wouldn't be. And then you can just drag it into your temp folder so that you can access it whenever you want. Periodically, I'll just go into my temp folder, either on the web or in the local folder, and just delete junk. Put it wherever I need to put it. So any questions on the folders, uploading documents, that kind of a thing? Okay. So I want to look at the storage real quick. If you look at the storage on mine, I have 100 gigs available. I'm using 9 gigs of my 100 gig. Okay. If I click on that, okay, so my drive is 3 gigs. I have 5 gigs in Google Photos. So, like I said, my phone will back up to Google Photos when I take a photo. My iCloud is 50 gigs for my iPhotos, and then I take from my 100 gigs in my Google Drive. If I do screenshots or save things on my phone, or I see something funny on Facebook and a meme or something and I want to steal it on my phone, it's all going into that. So there's a lot of content that's using that 5 gigs. Okay. Same thing with Gmail, 863 megabytes. That's not a lot of storage. That's not a lot of usage for my Gmail. So if you do the 100 gigs for $20 a year, I'm telling you, you will not have to do that. You most likely won't have to go over the 100 gigs unless you start, a large team and you've got a lot of paperwork and things like that. PDF files don't take up a lot of space. My drive itself is 3 gigs. Okay. That's, here's image folders. And here's PDF stuff for my listings, property folders. So there's multiple PDFs in there for the listing agreement, for the properties. So, I mean, if I went through all of these, there's a lot of stuff in this. And I'm only using 9 gigs. Okay. The reason I paid for the 100 gigs was at one point I was pushing my 15 gigs of free storage. And then I went through and kind of deleted some things out of there to make it more streamlined. And because I use another cloud service, I don't move stuff from iCloud into here. If there's any Mac users in the room, you know, my pages, my keynote, my numbers, that all goes to iCloud, and I leave it there. I don't move it into Google Drive. I'm going to close that out and go back to this one. Now, you can star folders. What the star does, it lets you find something easily down the road. So let's say you have your drive and you've got, you know, just all your listings are in here. Let's say you've got 10 listings and 3 buyers and, you know, documents and presentations and images and all kinds of stuff. And you want to find something easily. Okay, so let's say it's a self-promotion thing like this screenshot. Okay, a little self-promotion. I did I don't know, I think it was a video for our app. So of course I use mine. So let's say we use that a lot. Okay, you right click and add a star. Now it'll keep it where it is. It'll always be in that FLR folder, photos folder. That wasn't the folder it was in, was it? It was in the blog images, wasn't it? My bad. I have no short-term memory. So it'll always stay in that folder. But when I come to my drive and I'm like, you know what, I want to use that promotional piece again, I can just hit starred, and there's all the folders that are starred. It's like Gmail. If you notice, Gmail lets you star some of the emails so you can retrieve them easier and faster. There's also a recent file. It shows everything that was recently done. Okay, earlier this week, earlier this month, and then of course some of the other folders. And then there's also trash. Okay. Be sure that you periodically come into your trash and empty it. Okay, because if I go to my drive and I go to this CMA thing and I remove it, okay, one file moved, it was removed, I threw it out, it's in trash. Well, it's in trash. There it is. Trash in your Google Drive does come away from your storage. So you can see that that CMA image is 99 kilobytes, which is nothing, really. But when you start to add stuff you just keep throwing things out, but you don't empty your trash, it's going to start to come away from your usage. Okay? So when you open your trash, you go to the top. There's the trash. Empty your trash. Empty it. No more stuff in trash. Now that probably won't make a difference to the usage because nothing was a gig or it didn't add up to a megabyte. So you can see there. Any questions on these things, starring folders or starring items? Okay. Starring is great if you're not organized. So you could actually take your listing files and star each one. So when you come into starred, there's all my listing folders. You know, you could use it that way. So let's move on to some of the other things that it'll do. Google Docs is another feature of your Google Drive. Okay, Google Docs lets you create, you guessed it, documents. So we're going to open up Google Docs. So up here at the left, we get to title it. And we're going to title this test so I know what I'm doing. And I can move the margins over. Okay, and you can create a document. Let's say you want to do like something for your CMA, and you want it in script, and you want a big font, and something like your marketing services. Okay. And let's say we want this to be, you know, whatever, blue. We want it bold. Okay, you can do that. And you come down here. You can change the orientation again. You can make it black. You can create things for your CMA or your listing presentation right in Google Docs. Okay, it'll also let you insert images. So something from my album, you know, let's say we're doing a piece about, well, not that. Oh my albums. Let's say we want the luxury logo. Okay. No, I want that. We're doing a piece about open houses. Okay. You click on it. You can shrink it. Okay. You can reposition it. Where am I at? To the center. You know, anything like that. And you can make nice marketing pieces right here in Google Documents. It'll automatically save it as you go, and it'll save it right to your cloud. So always be sure you come up here to the top left corner and you name it. Okay. So let's pretend we did a really nice marketing piece here, and we're done, and we delete it, and life goes on. Now we come back to my drive. Here it is. Okay, we named it test, remember? So there's the document. It'll open up online for you, and you can print it. You know, whatever you have to do, you can make a PDF copy of it to save it for the future. Okay. It's great for your expired letters, for sale by owner letters, whatever you want to do. And it's going to save it right there in your cloud, in your Google Drive. So if you're creating things in another text editor that isn't clouded, and your computer crashes, and it's in everything's in your document folder, you're going to lose your stuff, and you don't want to lose all your marketing. Now, if you are a Mac user, I would recommend that you just use Pages. You have a lot more freedom, a lot more options. You can create more marketing pieces a bit easier, and that'll just back up to your iCloud, so you can easily access it from the web there. Another thing you can do is Google Sheets. So Google Sheets is your Google Spreadsheets. So again, the first thing I would recommend is that you title it. So when you're done, it'll move forward. So I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on Google Sheets. So one thing that a lot of agents need to use Google Sheets for is tracking expired listings. Okay, hooray. So let's make one for tracking expired listings. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is come up here. If you highlight the number across, you see how it all turned blue? Now we're going to dictate the font size and the text color and the position of the text. So the first one is going to be date. Now we want the subject property. So we're going to need a little more space for that. Let's make it big. Subject address. I'm going to drag this over to here, and we're going to make this, mailing address. Now we want to know the seller's name, but you may want to make that a little bit larger as well. And we want their phone a little bigger too. I like to include the subdivision. Whoops, slid it too far. And then a nice section for notes. So I want to keep track of when I spoke to them, when I mailed them something, that kind of a thing. So there we have our headers, which is okay, but you know what? I want to fill that background. We're using red, so let's get patriotic, and we'll use a little blue. So there's your header. Date of the expired, the subject address, the mailing address, their name, phone number, subdivision, and a spot for notes. Very easy. When you do these, I would suggest you leave 2 spots per property so you can copy and paste from the county tax roll. It'll generally use both spots. Okay? Now, if we want to get fancy with it, you can set your master copy. And we're going to take this line, we're going to make it smaller, and we're going to fill it with blue. And then we're going to take this line and make it smaller, and we're going to fill it with blue. So you can, I don't really like that blue. Let's go with something a little less dark. That's better. So you can put separator lines in there for your spreadsheet. Super awesome. Now, because it's a spreadsheet, we got our dates. Down here at the bottom, see where it says sheet 1? Click on that, duplicate. Copy of sheet 1, click on that, duplicate. Sheet 1, we're going to rename January 2017. I know we're in February, but bear with me. We're going to rename this one February 2017. We're going to duplicate, duplicate. You would name this one March, April. What I like to do, and I recommend it, is the very last one, you're going to name it Master. You're always going to want one that's duplicated in blank. Okay? So now as you go through your expireds each month, you've got January, you've got February, okay? March, April, May, June, July, August. So in March, you might want to go back to January and look and see who was expired. Did they relist? Nope, they're still not on the market yet. Let's market to them again. Let's call them again. Let's stop by their house. Let's mail them something. Okay, so you can easily use Google Spreadsheets to have all your information on the web and off of your computer. I know if you're a Microsoft user, you've got that Microsoft 360 virtual thing, and if that's working for you, great. But with Google, you've got the account because you've got the Gmail, and you don't even have to have a Gmail, have a Google account. But you can have everything in one spot. Okay, so for a point of reference, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to close this out. Now we're back to our go to meeting page. We're going to go to our home page, go here, go to Drive. Here's our spreadsheet. So you can access that on your phone, on your tablet, on whatever you need. Okay. So take a quick minute and think about a question. I have to step out for 1 quick minute and I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm at home. I'm not in the office, uh, and my dog had to go outside. So, sorry. So, any questions on Google Drive? Creating documents, creating spreadsheets, uploading things, uh, anything. So, the person who uses Dropbox, because I don't see a name for it, um, do you think you might use Google Drive over Dropbox in the future? No. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, it's possible. You know what? Try using it. Mirror your files. Use both for a little bit and see which one you like. The best. What my not my issue with Dropbox, but the fact of the storage being um, a lot smaller. If you start putting photos and things in Dropbox, you're going to suck up a lot of space. But if your photos are going to Google Photos anyway, I used to just use Dropbox for my real estate files, and it worked out fine until I had enough. In my drive, I have closed folders for a few years. So you're talking anywhere from 20 to 28 um, closed files per folder in there. So it got a little big. So if there's other questions, I'm going to stop the recording. I thank you all for attending. The video will be available online within about 24, 48 hours. We just have to do some processing and uploading. I apologize for that pause. I won't be able to edit that out. And if everyone has a great day, I know it's a little rainy here, but hopefully it's good. If you have any questions about Google Drive, you need a little one-on-one, feel free to email me at education@myflroffice.com. And I thank you all for coming. Have a great day.